On Friday, October 10, 2025, U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth made an announcement that solidified a new chapter in a long-standing strategic relationship. The United States government, he confirmed, has officially approved a plan to allow the nation of Qatar to construct and operate a dedicated training facility within an existing American military installation. This new facility will be located at Mountain Home Air Force Base in Idaho. The primary purpose of this arrangement is to host a squadron of F-15 fighter jets from the Qatar-Emiri Air Force. Qatari pilots, support crews, will be stationed there to engage in advanced training exercises, operating alongside American counterparts. It brings a key Middle Eastern partner's military operations onto U.S. soil for an extended period. Qatar will fund construction of its own infrastructure on U.S. base grounds. This is not a Qatari airbase on U.S. soil. It is a facility within a U.S. airbase, under U.S. jurisdiction and oversight. Qatari forces gain access to vast training ranges in the American West, something Qatar's small size cannot provide. The facility will house Qatari F-15 QA jets, an advanced variant of the American-made F-15. The goal: Qatari pilots hone skills in complex environments and foster closer operational ties with the U.S. Air Force. Hegseth called the deal routine and beneficial, strengthening a critical alliance. Officials said joint training will enhance combined training, increase lethality, improve interoperability. That ensures both air forces can operate together in future conflicts. Qatari presence at Mountain Home creates daily shared learning and tactical development. Mountain Home AFB is central to the story. Located in the high desert of southwestern Idaho, the base controls extensive airspace, bombing ranges, electronic warfare ranges. That makes it ideal for advanced fighter pilot training. This agreement did not materialize overnight. The decision announced by the current administration is the culmination of a process that began several years ago, spanning multiple presidential administrations. Discussions and planning for a potential Qatari presence at an American base have been underway for a considerable time, with roots stretching back to the previous administration. This long gestation period involved extensive logistical assessments, environmental assessments, diplomatic assessments. It highlights that the strategic logic behind the deal has been a consistent priority for the Pentagon, regardless of party. A key milestone in this lengthy process occurred in 2022. Mountain Home Air Force Base released an environmental assessment. That study evaluated bedding down a Qatar-Emiri Air Force F-15 QA squadron at the Idaho facility. The release was the first major public signal the talks were moving toward a concrete plan. Such assessments are a standard, legally required step for major military construction or operational changes. They address potential effects on wildlife, land use, noise levels, and the surrounding community. For Qatar, the primary motivation behind this 10-year commitment is geography and capability. The nation of Qatar is a small peninsula with limited sovereign airspace. Its terrain is predominantly flat, sandy desert. That reality severely limits the Qatar-Emiri Air Force's ability to train pilots. They need to prepare for a wide variety of real-world scenarios, complex aerial maneuvers over vast distances, long-range weapons employment. None of those are practical inside Qatar. The facility in Idaho solves that problem. The United States gains strategic advantages too. It deepens military and diplomatic ties with a key Middle East partner. Qatar hosts Al Udeid Air Base, the largest U.S. installation in the region. Al Udeid acts as a central hub for American air operations. Secretary Hegseth linked the Idaho deal to Qatar's diplomatic role, including Gaza. Hosting Qatari forces in the U.S. reinforces that reciprocal relationship. The U.S. military has a long-established history of similar arrangements, including Germany, Singapore, Turkey, and NATO. Mountain Home has hosted the Republic of Singapore Air Force since 2008, a working model for the Qatari facility. Despite precedents, the announcement triggered a vocal backlash, especially among the America First base. Prominent conservatives like Laura Loomer said, "I have never felt more betrayed by the GOP." Steve Bannon said, "There should never be a military base of a foreign power on the sacred soil of America." Supporters cite readiness, alliance strength, and local jobs. Critics raise sovereignty, foreign influence, and priorities. Success will hinge on transparency, rigorous oversight, and clear rules for Qatari personnel under U.S. jurisdiction. The base will build on lessons from hosting Singapore, and the local experience will matter on the ground. In the end, pragmatic alliance strategy meets powerful nationalist sentiment and trouwer ambalad maringsinden gambower alwork berendin and dendi de sinanan bindid den de. The runway ahead will test both.